Guys, Eric Ten Hag has got ahead to stand the world again. I never saw Ericsson get to the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United into that midfield, and I was like, Ugarte having gone ahead to be taken off around the 60th minute of the game of Barnsley. I thought that Ugarte was obviously gonna get into the starting 11 alongside Kobe Mainoo, but he has gone ahead to stick with the double pivot that United used to beat the side of Southampton. A double pivot that me as Rokan David was not okay with because of how we went ahead to obviously look into those minutes. Though Ericsson went ahead to obviously score a brace in midweek and he's really good at the ball, but the intensity in that midfield is really gonna be a very huge question, and we are waiting to see how United are really gonna outplay this team of Southampton. This team of Crystal Palace. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokan David. Smash like button, comment and share if at all you're watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, I already have Ochan into the comment section, obviously already there, and I'm really calling in for your predictions, of Man United and Crystal Palace. United, this should be a must win, I tell you. And if Eric Ten Hag happens to draw points here, everyone will go hard at him. But I've been talking to my friend who supports Man United on phone before I came live. He was like, he has a very good bench. A good bench that can really change the game of football. So, I tell you, if Ericsson is really impressing, let's wait and see what he offers, because if the manager gets it right and he wins the game of football convincingly, moreover, then he would have gone ahead to sit us down. But I think it's a very huge mistake that Eric Ten Hag is doing to risk out games like this, and it reflects well to what he went ahead obviously say about Manuel Ugarte, that he hasn't featured here for so long, he hasn't trained with them for some time, so he needs to see to it that he gets enough time for him to really get into the patterns and what we call the combinations for the club of Manchester United. So this is how United is really standing. Onana, Mazurui, Delete, Martinez, Bruno Fernandes, Joshua Zexi, Ericsson, Amadi Diallo, Garnacho, and Kobe Mainoo. That is the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. And if you look at these players, most of those that really started in the game of Barnsley haven't gone ahead to feature, because Onana has come in for Bendeir, Mazrui. Mazrui is in. He never played. Delete never started. Martinez never started. Bruno never started. Joshua Zexi never started. Amadi Diallo never started. Kobe Mainoo never started. 8 players never started, and 8 changes have gone ahead to be made. Who has gone ahead to maintain his position? It's Dallo, Garnacho, and Ericsson. Those are the 3 players that have managed to obviously maintain their position into the starting 11 of Eric Ten Hag. Now, the substitutes have the following: Bendeir, Evans, Maguire, Casemiro, Mason Mount, Ugarte, Anthony, Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford on the bench. And I'm going to be letting you know why. It's really very good for Marcus Rashford to be played on the bench, because the manager is really looking out for those games that are really easy for him and start him to score those goals, obviously get back into full pelt or full blast. Henderson, Munoz, Richards, Gehi, Lacroix, Michel, Watson, Kamada, Eze, Edin Ketia, and Mateta. That is the starting 11 for Crystal Palace. And Turner, Ward, Sa, Lana, Skulp, Klein, Hughes, Ume, and Agbinone. Those are on the bench of Crystal Palace, and that's how United is really standing for now. So, at the look of things, Man United has gone ahead obviously flaunt that as its starting 11, and the bench is really rich. Then you obviously get into the mix and get into Onana in goal. The system is 4-2-3-1, Mazrui is being played as the right back, Dalo left back, Martinez left-sided centre back, Matthias De Ligt right-sided centre back, Eriksson and Kobe Mainoo playing into the double pivot, Diallo right attacking midfielder, Garnacho left attacking midfielder, central attacking midfielder is Bruno Fernandes, and Joshua Zirkzee is leading the line. So that is the man known as Joshua Zirkzee leading the line. So as it stands, all is okay and all is going on well for Erik ten Hag, provided he really collects the 3 points. And I believe the only contagious position all pick is Eriksson, and I don't doubt his ball passing abilities, but if they are really attacking us, how is he going to really react? That is my huge query about this team of Manchester United, because I believe that Manuel Ugarte would have gone ahead to be the man into that team. But Garnacho coming in through to start off the left has been really very impressive, and I think this is the best way to reward a player like Alejandro Garnacho. And by the way, this is a huge surprise for me from Erik ten Hag, because I never saw this happen, you know. I never saw Erik ten Hag bench Marcus Rashford, having gone ahead to obviously put in that performance there. I was like, there is no way he's not gonna really pick him and really put him or include him into the team of Manchester United today. But guess what? He has been put, or he has been played off the bench, and that is the shocker. But I really understand that he's picking Marcus Rashford's games right for him. That's what Ten Hag is doing, because when you pick those games right for him, he'll come out and obviously score goals. When you're playing against Crystal Palace, it has been one of our hardest games away from home, and the manager is like, all right, Garnacho, go into this game of Crystal Palace, because I know it's really going to be hard for Manchester United, and what we anticipate is simple. We'll get Marcus Rashford off the bench, you get? And if Rashford comes off the bench, these players of Crystal Palace will be tired a little bit, and there will be spaces for him to manipulate and obviously get out something. And United on Wednesday is playing the UEFA Europa League, and we are going to be playing FC20 at Old Trafford, meaning that when you start Marcus Rashford in a more easier game of FC20 and he continues his goal scoring streak, that will be something great for the player and building his confidence. So I understand why Erik ten Hag is going to obviously bench the player and see that he really gets his confidence into the games. And coming off the bench to do the needful will be one of those moments that everyone will be waiting for, to obviously give him the benefit of doubt that he deserves in as a player. So that is Erik ten Hag for you. Amadi Diallo starts again, and this is the front three that we've all gone ahead obviously be waiting in for, to see how Alejandro Garnacho and Joshua Zirkzee really wind up together. I believe that a lot is really going to be happening. The only thing is how we are going to defend. But going forward, we are going to look good. That is it. Going forward, the side of Manchester United is going to look better, because Eriksson and his ball passing technique is going to give United a very good attacking phase. You get? But shielding the back four, this is where I believe that Kobe Mainoo is going to be obviously overworked again. You get? That's what I really believe about the side of Manchester United and how Erik ten Hag has gone ahead obviously name his starting 11. But I believe even if this starting 11 doesn't do better, we really have enough players off the bench to really change the game. Rashford, Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, Anthony, and who else? Manuel Ugarte can come off the bench and obviously put in the shift that is really well required. So for me, let me give the manager the benefit of doubt, because he knows to it that he's playing against Crystal Palace. I don't believe that. Next weekend, the game that you're going to be playing on, I think on Sunday, right? Man United is really going to field a player called Eriksson in the central midfield when you're playing against Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa. You get, before you go to the international break. I believe we can do better than that. And I think the manager is like, the opposition is not all that strong. You know, we can really do the needful because they also don't have the like. So is it Dokore in that midfield, that strong physical guy? He's also nowhere to be seen. So when we go to Crystal Palace, they're having Dean Henderson in goal, former player of Manchester United. And they have played a system of 3-4-3, and they've gone for Lacroix as a defender playing on the right side of the three-man central defense. Richards is being played onto the left side of the three-man central defense. McGahey is being played into the center of the three-man central defense. And Munoz is being played as a right wing back. Michel is being played as a left wing back. Watson, a talented youngster that even Manchester United is really scouting, and Kamada are being played into the double pivot. Edin Ketia playing as a right central attacking midfielder. Ebelechi Eze, left attacking central midfielder, and Mateta is leading the line. He has gone ahead to bring his A team to face the club of Manchester United. And this is where I feel like, he might have gone ahead, obviously, maybe make our game a little bit easier, because Crystal Palace looks like they're going to run a lot, and Man United are like, all right, you're bringing in your runs, I'm really gonna hurt you to the bone marrow by really going through you, because the passing abilities of Man United are really gonna be good. And I think the manager has based onto Watson and Kamada being played in that double pivot, and they're like, all right, I can really outpace them, I can really outplay them. But we last played here and we lost by 4-0. And I believe that we lost because of really having injuries. That is it. We lost because of having injuries. But this time around, it has come to my notice that we are going to be doing better in this game. As I told you, I see a 3-1 win written all over this fixture, but Man United has to do a lot and a lot. Godfrey Ochan says Man United 2, Crystal Palace 0. Talk about Christian Eriksen and Kobe Mainoo into that midfield. I think the manager has chose that midfield. Why? Because I think the manager has chosen that midfield because he has really seen that Crystal Palace is having a weak midfield. That is it. That's why the manager has gone ahead to go for that midfield. But I don't think that when you're playing against a serious team, the manager can come out and risk himself to play that midfield. I don't really believe that it is really okay for him to obviously do the needful. But the manager has come out and explained himself, you get, about not starting Manuel Ugarte. And I think I should really bring it onto your screen soon here. You get? But I'm having another Asimwe Hillary. I'm saying hi to Stephen Ibrahim in Sila. Thank you very much for watching through. Ko says United 2, Southampton 0, Mohamed Assam, United 2, United's 2, Crystal Palace 0, Dickens Owomugisha, doubt on Eric Ten Hag, all right. Chinedu for me, I'll say Palace 2, United 3, all right. Then Chimona, no defensive player. That's where the problem is. Yeah, for me, that's where my problem is too. Because Man United is a team that has been really looking in for midfielder. You get? And he's here, and we're not really using him. You get? That is the worst bit of it. We should be getting Ugarte onto the pitch. So Eric Ten Hag is like, he wants to integrate him gradually. That is it. So that's what I really don't understand about Ten Hag, because we all know our problems as a club of Manchester United, not so? We all know them. And the midfield has been really crucial. And if you are playing Eriksen and we win, everyone will be like, the manager's going to have to get it right. But the moment you lose, everyone is really going to go against you. And this is what I really hate about my manager sometimes, that he makes his things hard. You know, he makes them hard. I think what he's doing is not giving himself justice. That's what I'm really believing, because he's putting himself into a doubting Thomas. But we wait. We see how we are going to transit. And if all goes well, then the manager would have gone ahead, obviously, get us right, and will get his flowers, because we believe that he's a very good manager. But sometimes the decision makings are really bad. But the end will justify the means. That is it. If he comes up and obviously puts in the shift and he really wins, then he would have gone ahead, obviously, shut us down. Though for me, I won't believe in that. I believe we should be a much more better side into that ilk. You understand? So we wait and see how things really pan out. But let me obviously get into this talk of the manager on as to why he has gone ahead, obviously, non-start Manuel Ugarte into this beautiful game of football of Manchester United as we take on the side of Crystal Palace. This is what Erik ten Hag had to say about him not considering Manuel Ugarte into the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. Continue to smash the like button, comment and share. You can as well vote for who you think should be the person. Who do you think is going to win? Go into the live chat and really vote. Ten Hag says, Ugarte, we saw a connection between Menu and Eriksson that I wanted to keep. Manuel Ugarte also needs time to integrate to get used to English football. It will come quickly, but it's mainly to keep this midfield and this connection. All right. It's not against Manuel Ugarte, who will be a very good player for us. We want to integrate him gradually. That's what the manager is really saying. And I don't really buy that. I'm sorry to say. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that because you know how we play. Southampton would have gone ahead to be like 2 goals up if it was not them missing the penalty or being saved by Andre Onana, and even them being more composed into their attacks. You get? We really had a problem. And maybe he's like, right now, the club of Manchester United had a lot to lose when Dalot was attacked. And in the due course of really attacking Dalot, Marcus Rashford never tracked back. And maybe it's like, let me go for Alejandro Garnacho, who's really going to track back and give us the best cover-up for that side. Offensively, he's better, and even defensively he's also better. Maybe that, but I'm not buying that. I'm sorry to say. I would love to see Manuel Ugarte start for the club of Manchester United. That is it. Then, on benching Marcus Rashford, the manager has come out and really told us the following. Why he has gone ahead, obviously, bench Marcus Rashford. All right. I'm looking for them. Benching Marcus Rashford. So this is what the manager had to say on benching Marcus Rashford. 7 minutes into the game, the manager said it's difficult to bench Marcus Rashford. It's not difficult. He was asked whether it was a question. Is it difficult to bench Marcus Rashford? The manager said no. It's not difficult because you have to rotate. Nobody can play every game, and Garnacho also needs to start to continue to improve. That's what he said. He also added and said we need to rotate. No player can play all the games. Garnacho has the end product and he hasn't started. He needs starts. Rotation is good. Now, this is what I've gone ahead obviously get as a take for Erik ten Hag, because for Garnacho, coming off the bench, scoring in 2 consecutive games, he came off the bench against Southampton, scored the 3rd goal, played against Barnsley, 2 goals and 2 assists. I think it would have gone ahead to be a disjustice, by the way, not to start him, and defending it would have gone ahead to be hard. So the manager is going to have to bring him on, and I believe that Garnacho is really going to put in a very good showcase. And if he doesn't, then Rashford will come off the bench and put in the required shift all together. On Garnacho, this is what Ten Hag had to say about Alejandro Garnacho. He said, Garnacho is very important, but he is not only the one. We need a lot of qualities, but obviously his ability to score. Rashford has it too. Hoyland, Zexi, Bruno Fernandes have it too. Don't forget Ahmad, who can score goals. So, he's telling us the importance of the team, but we all know to it that the team of Manchester United, to prosper to the levels we want it to be, there are things that Ten Hag has to sacrifice. Some players have to be sacrificed. You know, I understand Eriksen is a very good player, but I'm not convinced with him starting. That is it. But if we win that game of football with Eriksen on the pitch and score those goals and play the beautiful football, I'll be like, Erik Ten Hag got it right. And that's why the manager of Manchester United, if we'll be needing to get Emmanuel Ugarte to play some good football, then I'll be like, he got it wrong, and next time he has to get it right. But the most important bit of it all is, I want us to win this game. I want us to win this game of Manchester United as we are being hosted by Crystal Palace. Happy Chris, not happy with that midfield. Mainu is over. Yeah, obviously it's an overload for Kobe Mainu, and that's why people say that he's not really playing well. Elijah Sado, Chisang, United 2, Crystal Palace 1, all right. Then Masa Chimona, Man United 4, Crystal Palace 2. Kiprotich says, good evening, Aradi. United will win by 2-1. Duke Dalton, that midfield scares me a lot. No matter what happens, we must bag 3 points and a positive goal difference. That is it. All we need is 3 points, and I want us to really win with a very huge play into the mix. Then Chisang, I enjoy your reviews. Thank you very much. Okema Matthew, good evening, Aradi. I'm Matthew Okena, hoping for sure win for the club of Manchester United. All right, we wait and see how that pans out. But you people have gone ahead to go into the live chat and you're really voting, and more is being said. Let me first get you something here from Sky Sports. I want to see what people are really saying about this pick of Erik Ten Hag. Teams have gone ahead to win. Spurs has won, Aston Villa has won, Liverpool has won. That means United too has to win, because the Premier League table as it stands, Man United is 11th, and if we win, we'll go to 9 points and we'll displace the side of Brighton and really go ahead of them. So that will be something greater for the club of Manchester United. But the players are walking onto the pitch, and it's all vibes for the club of Manchester United, and they're trying to see what is really going to go right for us today. But I believe this game is a must win. You get? Ten Hag comments, not ideal for Rashford. So, right, Redknapp says it feels like something has gone untoward. I don't know the details, but you don't drop a player that has scored 2 in a midweek and against Southampton. It would be nervous to say he's back, but he's showing signs of the Rashford from 2 years ago. It feels like something happened maybe this week. I don't know the manager's frustration. It's unusual for a manager to out players for their style. Sir Alex Ferguson would have never done it, whereas Ten Hag has done it on few occasions. It's not always beneficial to the players. Now, this is where the English media gets it wrong. It's okay for a manager to not to bench. It's not okay for a manager to bench Marcus Rashford, who scored 1 goal against Southampton and 2 goals against and 2 goals against Barnsley. But it's okay. It's okay to drop Marcus Rashford, who had the same set of performance like Marcus Rashford in 2 games. Now, make it make sense, Mr. Redknapp. You know, Jamie Redknapp of Sky Sports. This is where they come up and obviously get things wrong, and they believe that they are defending their side. And for me, it's really very, very, very bad for these people, because they try to sell us their narrative. But good enough, we are people who allow our heads to work and really think about them. Then let me end this poll and see how people have gone ahead to obviously vote. 79% United win, 12% are really calling in for a Palace win, draw 7%, and Success says Man United will win the game, but a clean sheet is doubtful. Yeah, it's doubtful. A clean sheet is doubtful because of Eriksen being played to that midfield and sacrificing Kobe Mainu to what we call the overload. Then United will win. Then Anita says United must shine. All right. Then Success says Man United 3, Crystal Palace 1. All right. Okema Matthew, good evening, Aradi. I'm Matthew Okema, hoping for a sure win for the club of Manchester United. All right. And I think that has been all. And let's get into the game, because in a minute from now, the game of football is going to be starting at Selhurst Park, a stadium that hasn't gone ahead to be easy for the club of Manchester United, but we've finally come in here with a team and a bench that can win this beautiful game of football. And it is in my understanding that we are gonna really kill this game off. So I'm gonna be returning with what we call the match reaction, right? And that will be after the game of football is done and dusted. This is Rock and David, and the channel is United Matters channel. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 20,000 subscribers, and we are left with very few people to hit